Hey guys, welcome back to another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing an updated Elvis collection. There's going to be two parts to this video. This is going to be part one. And sadly, the Elvis stuff I'm going to be showing is my dad's who, let me put it like this. 3 months ago, he passed away. And my dad, one of the big reasons I got into Elvis. And I'm going to be showing off his collection and sharing it with people that I know who also love Elvis, which is my viewers here on this channel. And the first thing we're going to start with is some of the books my dad had in his collection. So first book is 50 Million Elvis Fans Can't Be Wrong. I've actually not read it, but I'm pretty sure this is when Elvis got his first gold record from RCA. This is a interesting book, and on the back of it, it's pretty much all of his early albums that he recorded from, GI Blues to Kid Galahad. I'm pretty sure these are all his movie soundtracks, and Separate Ways is in there. His Hand in Mine, one of his gospel albums, is in the picture on the back of this book. And all in all, I think this would be a good read. Next book is just simply Elvis Unseen Archives. And you can see this is a decent sized book. And on the front, it's actually a picture of Elvis in the 1968 black leather suit during the filming of the 1968 Comeback Special. And on the back is Elvis Aloha from Hawaii. That was seen by millions of people around the world. And Elvis is playing his Gibson Dove, which I believe is the guitar he has on him. And this went live at 1 in the morning on January 14th, 1973. Solid Gold Memories, the Elvis Presley Scrapbook, 1935 to 1977. And it's a picture of Elvis. I think that was one of his early publicity shots that he took. And on the back, it's the collector's album. And it's just different photos of Elvis through the years. Yeah, pretty much. There's photos of Elvis, and I can show y'all some. I believe this is Elvis on the Milton Berle show. I could be wrong. No, actually it's Elvis in Fort Worth, Texas. Picture of Elvis in Fort Worth, Texas. That's cool. This next book is Songs Recorded by Elvis Presley Volume 2. And I'm guessing it's every single song Elvis ever recorded through his life. Yeah, it's pretty much every song. Oh, it's sheet music. That is cool. That is so cool. It's literally sheet music of all of Elvis's songs. This is volume 2. Wonder if my dad had volume 1. Probably does. It's probably somewhere in this collection. And obviously, instead of Where's Waldo, Where's Elvis? And I'm pretty sure the book is just trying to figure out where Elvis is. That's very cool. That's very cool. And the next book is Elvis World. That's cool. Let's see what's in it. Oh, different pictures of Elvis throughout the years. That's the Elvis Museum. Jimmy Velvet, who's an avid Elvis fan, and New Elvis is also a collector. I believe Jimmy's still alive. I could be wrong. Yeah, there's different pictures. Yeah, different pictures of Elvis and places Elvis visited. Some are in like Tupelo and just different areas, including, I don't know if y'all can see that, but the birth house Elvis was born in. The next book is The Complete Elvis A to Z. Articles, interviews, photographs. Cool. That's cool. Next is Elvis, the Illustrated Biography. That's a cool picture of Elvis on the front. And on the back, I believe that is Elvis on the Ed Sullivan Show. Yeah, Elvis on the Ed Sullivan Show. As you can see in the back, there's Scotty Moore and I believe DJ Fontana on drums. And the next book is Elvis, the boy who dared to rock. That's cool. That is very cool. Next is Elvis, a King in the Making. That's a picture of Elvis on a train, I believe, headed back to Memphis. And on the back is Elvis leaning up against one of his motorcycles. A lot of people know Elvis liked motorcycles, but a lot of people probably know this fact too, but Elvis idolized James Dean and Marlon Brando, who were big, rebels in movies in the 50s. So Elvis idolized both of them. Next, and this book is extremely large, bigger than the other one I just showed y'all. It's literally just entitled Elvis, William Allen. Picture of Elvis on the front, and then a picture of Elvis on the back. And next is the history of masters of rock music. And of course, Elvis is on the front. It pretty much features everybody who had a thing in the birth of rock and roll music in the 50s. This includes, different artists, including, Elvis and Bill Haley in the Comets, and of course the Beatles, Bob Dylan, Jimi Hendrix talks about Woodstock a little bit. The next is Life. I believe this probably was a Life magazine article. Rock and roll at 50. Sadly, we know Elvis didn't get to live to 50. This is probably a Life article, a Life magazine article made into a book. Of course, a picture of Elvis on the cover. That's cool. Next is Rock and Roll Generations Teen Life in the 50s. As you can see, there's a picture of Elvis. That's Elvis actually in Tupelo, Mississippi when he made his hometown visit in 1956. And also on the cover there's a picture of, I believe, Buddy Holly, James Dean, and just different people, Little Richard, and just different people who were big into the 50s. Next book is The Best of Elvis. And there's different pictures of Elvis throughout the years on there. There's Elvis signing autographs with fans, Elvis in 1973, in Hawaii, doing a lot from Hawaii, Elvis in the recording studio, recording, Elvis and Ann Margaret from Viva Las Vegas, Elvis 1968 comeback special, and Elvis with one of his cars. And then on the back is a picture of Elvis. I believe that is Elvis actually in Florida, leaning up against one of his cars. I believe that's where that picture was taken, Elvis in Florida. So that's cool. Next is the official collector's edition Elvis. That is very cool. This is cool. That is very interesting. That is very, very, very cool. Very cool. Oh, wow. That is... Okay, it's not just a book. Inside of it is a copy of the receipt for the fence that is built around Graceland. Look at that. I did not know this was in here. I believe this was, yep, Highway 51, before it was changed to Elvis Presley Boulevard. To Mr. Vernon Presley, because Elvis's dad was the one who paid for a lot of this stuff, which is cool. That is very cool. And a Memphis Federation of Musicians, 1977. That's cool. That is very cool. Picture of Elvis. Not a picture of Elvis, but like a card with Elvis's name on it. This is very cool. That is very cool. The next is 3 different editions of the official collector's edition Elvis Presley. This is volume 13, and I believe this is just different pictures of Elvis from throughout the years. Yeah, this is cool. I can show y'all. Let me see. Picture of Elvis. One, I believe, was taken. I believe that's a Blue Hawaii on the right, and then Elvis by one of his cars in the 50s. That's cool. And I'm pretty sure it's pretty much the same thing. This is very cool. It's just a collector's edition of Elvis Presley. They're pretty much all the same thing, showing off different styles and pictures of Elvis from the 50s, early out. And this is, the title of this book's very interesting. It's called Before Elvis There Was Nothing, which is a saying John Lennon of the Beatles said, because before Elvis came along, there was really no there were popular people in the rock and roll era when it began in the 50s, but Elvis was the one that really kicked this off, which is very interesting. Next book is Elvis the King, the authorized biography from the Graceland Archives, which is very cool. I believe in it, I guess, different pictures of Elvis throughout the years, which is very cool. Oh yeah, this is very cool. What pictures we can find of Elvis? Let's see what pictures we can find of Elvis. Picture of Elvis on the set of King Creole, or I believe recording the vocals for the movie. He pumped out, throughout the 60s when he was recording movies, he pumped out a lot of movie soundtracks. I know he didn't like doing those movies. Colonel Parker kind of made him do it. He was under contract with MGM, I believe. Next is Elvis. Over 80 illustrations. Pretty much 80 pictures in color and black and white. Pictures of Elvis, different pictures. And on the back is a picture in Vegas. Picture of Elvis in Vegas. Elvis, of course, playing his custom Gibson J200 in, I believe that is the black 2-piece suit, before these were the 1-piece suits that Elvis had. He switched from the 1-piece suits, or from the 2-piece suits to 1-piece suits, because he would bust a seat of the 2-piece suits out. Next is Candidly Elvis. So this is pretty much different pictures of Elvis throughout the years. Ironically, we just talked about this performance, the August 14, 1969 concert in Vegas. Picture of Elvis in Vegas playing the Gentleman Gretsch guitar that he actually bought that guitar in when he was living out in LA. And that is in the Graceland Archives today. And of course, next we end on one of the coolest things Elvis ever did. Elvis 68 Comeback Special. The book was written by Steve Bender, who was the director of the show, and forwarded by Baz Luhrmann, who directed the Elvis movie with Austin Butler. Next, we will go to these. These are commemorative plaques of Elvis's records when he came out of the Army. First is It's Now or Never. This is collector edition, limited series, 12 out of 90, which is very cool. That is very interesting. So it's a 45. It looks like a mini gold record, but the record's not gold. It's just like a regular 45 in there. It looks kind of like a gold record, which is kind of cool. The next one is Kentucky Rain, which Elvis recorded at Stax in Memphis, or American Sound Studios in Memphis, under Chips Moman, who was the producer at that studio. Kentucky Rain, released 1970. This is limited series 15 out of 90. Very, very cool. Next is Elvis Presley's Graceland, the official guidebook, updated and expanded 2nd edition. Picture of Graceland. And then a picture of the framed photo of Elvis that hangs in the living room at Graceland. This picture you see right here, and this frame was actually taken right around the time Elvis would have purchased Graceland in March of 1957. Next is the official Elvis Presley. This is a calendar, actually, which is very cool. Oh, it's a weekly planner. That's cool. It's a planner, not a book. I thought it was. That's cool. Very cool. Very cool. Next is Private Presley, the missing years, Elvis in Germany. Very cool, when Elvis was in Germany, and in Germany where he would meet Priscilla. Next, we go to something very cool that my dad had in his collection. This is the Collector's Classic. This is the TV guide from when Elvis appeared on TV for the very first time. Very cool. Very cool. Let me put that back in the box it came in. I can get it back in there. Yeah, I'll worry about that later. Actually, no, got it right back in there. Next, we do, this is all pretty much Elvis Valentine's Day stuff. Just different cans of Elvis that you can get that they have on Valentine's Day. Cool. Different ones. Cool. Very cool. Pretty much all Elvis Valentine's Day stuff. And of course, we know how big Elvis was into Christmas, so the candy company, Russell Stover's, had to make something for Elvis. Very cool. Very cool. And also a little pamphlet of Graceland, which is very cool. Very, very, very cool. That's very cool. Come home to rock and roll. That's very cool. And like I mentioned, there are going to be 2 parts to this video. This is part 1. Next is this Christmas thing. Very cool. Another Elvis Christmas thing. Ugh. Next is another Elvis hot cocoa thing. That's cool. Whoops. And next is a little Elvis, or pamphlet of Sun Records. You know, the birthplace of rock and roll. Of course, Sam Phillips started Memphis recording in the 50s. It was never really known as Sun Records. It was always known as Memphis Recording when Elvis went in there. Picture of Sun Records at 706 Union. And then a picture of where Elvis would have walked in that very day to record That's Alright Mama. And just different little things of Elvis. Can't really go through these at one because it's different. There's cassette tapes, playing cards, and just different stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment, and let me know what you thought of part 1 of the updated Elvis collection. and leave a comment if you would like. Part 2 will be uploaded sometime later on this week. Have a great day, guys.